We know the Midwest, we're still East-ish, but it's kind of popping. People love playing around here.
Are there
so
just multiple Cincinnati Opens?
We are
a
here
year now?
repeatedly, apparently.
And on the other side, we have Dennis Taylor on our left playing Dragon Master Red Green with a twist. That twist is 2 Wolfir Silverhearts in addition to his Thundermaw Hellkites.
Giant growth in the body. Pretty big time magic. So.
Yeah, he's actually shaved a Strangleroot Geist and a Hellrider to make room for 2 Wolfir Silverhearts for extra fatty love.
Okay, well, let's see how it goes. Definitely a battle of the fatties here. Jund obviously plays a control role more than green-red deck will. It'll utilize bonfires and removal spells, where red-green is all about pounding it in quick. So we have Eric with a optimal turn 2 Farseek.
Yeah, I would say both players pounding it in quick, so to speak. We've got Flinthoof Boar, which is one of the best early plays that Taylor can make if he doesn't have a mana creature. Yeah. And then Farseek out of Jund, which is always their turn 2 play of choice.
Right. Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of cards here that will not be with us for long. Flinthoof Boar rotating, of course. A lot of the red-green deck will also be moseying on into Modern land to be played, maybe a little bit. There is a red-green deck in Modern that's somewhat similar to the Blitz deck of Standard. I've seen him floating around. He's got Flinthoof Boars and Burning Tree Emissaries and stuff, so it might not be extinct, so to speak.
So we're going to see, a bash for 6. Taylor wasting no time getting down to the beatdowns.
Flinthoof Boar is another card that, even right after it was drafted, or in the M13 draft, it didn't receive a bulk of play right at the beginning, and that's one of those that's kind of resurged. I mean,
Stomping Ground is really, like, when Stomping Ground got printed is really when things kind of took a turn for it.
Yeah.
What do you think about the return of Wolfir Silverheart? I know Kibler started with Wolfir Silverhearts. He liked Wolfir Silverheart better than Clonian Hydra, but he had cut it because of the sheer volume of Lifebane Zombies people were playing.
Right.
Nowadays, it seems like there's a lot less Lifebane Zombie than there used to be.
Yeah.
It seems like the world has kind of come to the same consensus as Reed Duke eventually, because for a while, Reed Duke style without Lifebane Zombie was the minority. But now it seems like the Lifebane Zombie versions have mostly died out.
Right, yeah, I agree. I think that he said, you know what, it's clear for my big fatties here, I can play Wolfir Silverheart. I kind of like Wolfir Silverheart a little bit better than Colonial Hydra. Obviously, Hydra unchecked is game over, but Wolfir it's almost like more Hellkites, because you play it and you almost instantly get that free 4 damage.
It has haste.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of like it better than the Hydra, I'd say. Hydra's cool.
It's hard to argue with 12 power worth of board presence,
Yeah. All right, so Eric, going back and forth with a couple removal spells. We use the Mortars and an Abrupt Decay. Dennis responds with a Lowly Arbor Elf against Big Daddy Thrag here.
Big Daddy Thraggy.
Yeah, he's also not long for this world, but we'll see him a little bit more before his the curtain closes here. All right, it looks like he has Wolfir Silverheart in hand.
But he's out of mana, right?
Yeah, he's out of mana. He's going to play a Huntmaster this turn that he drew, I think. I think he drew a Huntmaster.
Isn't that Missing Mortars?
That's a Missing Mortars. All the way to it's a looks like a Hellkite. Man, it's not a Huntmaster, you're right.
Yeah, I think he drew a Missing Mortars this turn, and he already has one, but I think he drew another one. Although this is a tough way to do it. He's going to play Scavenging Ooze now, right?
Yes, I would. And the thing about Dennis, he needs to be careful because the real nail in the coffin for green-red aggro is Olivia Volderen. If Jund can get Olivia out with a couple lands, you're toast. And you really need to save those cards like Mizzium Mortars to really hit that particularly. Luckily, he has 2 Mizzium Mortars. I would definitely hold the second one for dear life there, just in case. Definitely not wasting it on a Thragtusk again.
A Beast token here?
Yeah, or a Beast token, yeah. So we have a Farseek, land, something. Anyway,
so what do you think about playing Scavenging Ooze and Mortarsing the Thragtusk instead of just playing the Ooze and eating both of the boars?
Yeah, I think it was a little premature using the Mortars. The Thragtusk is not really that threatening at this point. You're not exactly, and here's the said Olivia.
Fortunately, it does have another Mortars though.
Yes, fortunately, yeah.
So this isn't just over before it starts.
Yeah. And
let's draw a land, but he needs another land next turn.
It's not a bad draw because he gets to
Mortars the Olivia and get in there for 4.
Yeah, I like that play. I think that's the way to go.
Most likely eating both of Eric's creatures out of the graveyard.
Yeah. All right, so I think we're gonna see a Mortars here. Definitely can't wait. There's the mortars must happen. So he's going to attack.
Interesting.
So I guess he's just going to eat one of his own creatures instead now.
Wow, he chooses just to go up to 6/6.
If Eric has a land, he just...
Wait, this is like, and Olivia's going to grow so big the mortars can't kill it anymore.
Yeah.
This is insane, right? Like,
Yeah.
is he hoping that Eric steals the ooze so that when he mortars, he gains it back? Eric's going to be careful and shoot it with, like, he's just going to make his Olivia grow out of mortars range.
Yeah, this is...
Wow, this is, like, maniacal.
Yeah, it's not... This is going to definitely result in the Olivia running wild, and with Olivia running wild against red-green, I don't want to say it's over, but I don't see... You can't really win because every creature you play is going to belong to your opponent.
Yeah, like, I mean, that was going to be a really good turn if you just kill Olivia, hit for 4, and you're representing it.
Eric was down to nothing after that, but now we're going to see the opposite happen. Now we're going to see the tables turn, and we're going to watch how bad Olivia can really get against this deck.
I think Dennis is like trying to, I don't know, is he hoping that Eric's just steals the ooze? The problem is that he doesn't need to steal the ooze till the end step, so he can just save mana to make Olivia grow, to epic proportions.
Even if he steals the ooze, the Olivia becomes a 5/5. Can't even kill it with mortars anyway. So it's like there's no answer in the red-green deck for this card. Only thing you could draw right at this point would be Domri with like a Boris Reckoner at the same time.
There's just nothing.
Yeah. All right, we'll see what happens here.
There's a land, but
we're going to see every card that Dennis plays from here on out will be taken by Olivia, and Olivia pretty much says indestructible on it now once it hits 5 toughness.
So what does Dennis have in the sideboard for this matchup?
All right, we got definitely. I think I bring Crushing Vines, not because it's pretty narrow, but you have to kill Olivia Volderen. And looking at the sideboard, that's all he has. Like I would bring in a card that says Destroy Target Olivia Volderen in this matchup because there really isn't much you can do. It reminds you of the green-white decks, the Naya decks that had Slayer in their sideboard, Slayer the Wicked, just for Olivia Volderen and like Huntmaster, things that have very narrow applications, but the cards that it kills are just too good against you. So I'd bring both Crushing Vines in. And maybe Zealous Conscripts. I think Zealous Conscripts is pretty good against Jund. You might be able to steal Garrick and do silly things with it. There's a few other things you can do. On the other side, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean Eric's deck is, it's mostly already set up for this matchup, but he does get a few things like Doomblade,
Right. Eric's gonna go ahead and do what we thought. He's gonna just steal Sick Avenues, and Dennis has to. He probably sees what he could have done.
This is just 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 14. I mean,
with a few pings. How much is that with the pings? 5, 9, 10, 11. Oh, you counted that with the pings.
Yeah, he's got enough to ping the Wolfear 4 times to kill it.
Yeah.
And then that's 9 from Olivia, 6 from the Ooze is 15, and 3 from the Beast is dead on board.
Yep. 5, 8. Yep. That is dead. Dead enough. All right, so Eric's just being a little careful.
As long as he finds a play that wins the game this turn.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's 5 of them.
Right, so he's putrefying. It's fine too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Olivia twice, Scavenging Ooze 1 time. That's Exaxes.
Yep. 17. All right.
So they go to game 2. Eric Rill piloting Reduke style Jund versus Dennis Taylor's Dragon Master Red Green.
And it shows you the power of Olivia Volderen in the aggro mirror match, the aggro or the creature mirror match. Olivia might not be great against blue-white control, but against everything else that has creatures in the green decks, it's just superb against. It's one of those, oh, you don't kill me? Oh, you only have 4 ways to kill me? Then I'm going to punish you for that.
Do you think it is fair to say, as we end the, the final days of Olivia's Type 2 era, that she has been at least in the same league as Baneslayer Angel in terms of how big of an impact she had while she was legal?
Absolutely. I think you have to have. I think you need to come into a tournament having an answer to Baneslayer Angel then, and now you have to come into a tournament having an answer to Olivia Boldrin. I wouldn't be surprised if Olivia wasn't played at all, that the Mizzy Mortar count in Kibler's Green Red might be a little bit lower. It might be a different card altogether, but you just can't rely on Searing Spear anymore because they just play with 2 open and it's just not going to happen. So yeah, absolutely, yeah. I think if you came into control and playing against control deck with that answer to Baneslayer when you're playing Jund back in old standard, I think you were making a huge mistake.
Yeah. Now the format eventually got to a spot at times where people just didn't have very much removal. And Baneslayer Angel was just shockingly good against Jund, even when they kept in, even when they had Terminate and Maelstrom Pulse.
Yep, because if you don't have it, you're not attacking.
Sometimes you don't have it.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have it. And it's funny, it played as the best defender in Magic and the best attacker in Magic at one point.
And sometimes both at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, all right, well, you're not attacking this full turn, I'll attack you. Play a second Baneslayer Angel. It just gets real bad at that point. That was a fun format. I really enjoyed that standard.
Yeah.
With Conscription also, with Eldrazi Conscription. What was it called? Mythic, right? Mythic. Jund, that deck, Blue Eye Control. There's a fun little Reanimator deck in that format. It's very nice.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet up until the point where Sword of Feast and Famine was printed.
Yeah. Yep.
And even then, it didn't fall off the deep end until Batterskull.
Right.
Batterskull was like, okay, like we're not even like, this isn't even like real. We're not even really doing this.
Yeah, it created a legacy archetype. Pretty awesome. I don't think Stoneblade would be very good without it in Legacy. It's funny, even against like red decks in Legacy, I tend to Thoughtseize and pull out their lightning bolt things that can target creatures and chain lightnings, and they still lose to the little core artificer because of the Batterskull. Alright, so we have game 2 upon us. Jund, I think, is the favorite in this matchup. I'm not sure.
I know historically Red-Green has been. I mean,
it's just Olivia. I guess I'm just biased.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, and that's always been the thing, is that it's all in on Olivia. Olivia beats you, you beat the rest of their deck.
Exactly.
You got to remember also, this is the sideboard games where, oh, this is a twist. Normally, the reason that Dragon Master Red-Green beats these Jund decks is the 4 Burning Earths in the sideboard.
Oh, yeah.
Dennis Taylor has removed Burning Earth. He does not play Burning Earth. He still has the Pyromasters, he still has the Volcanic Strengths, but he's actually got a Blasphemous Act package instead of the Burning Earths.
And he doesn't even have Boris Reckoner.
No, he just has it as a sweeper, but certainly not for this matchup.
No.
Wow, no Burning Earths.
All right, so he's going to definitely
I definitely like Jund, now.
Yeah, you're able to just have your mana free and wild. Be able to cast whatever you want. I think we're going to definitely see, I hope Dennis brings in the Crushing Vines, because think about it, even if it's in your opening hand, even though you can't hit anything for a while, when he does play that Olivia, and he will, it's just nice to have it. And in an instant also, if he steals a creature, you're able to regain it back. I definitely like bringing it in.
It also, I mean, it hits Rakdos Keyrune.
It does, yeah.
But I think actually we're going to see Eric Rill bring in Golgari Charm.
Yeah.
In anticipation of the Burning Earths that will never come.
Yeah. I 100% see him bringing those in.
And they're going to largely just kill either mana creatures or perhaps, regenerate an Olivia.
Yeah. It's just going to be funny. It's going to be interesting interaction between Crushing Vines and Golgari Charm that usually doesn't happen. So
yeah,
we'll see some fun there. Okay, so we have Dennis on the play. I'm sure he wants to see a Arbor Elf and a Domri Red in his hand. And let's see, we got, I think, Eric's mulligan to 6. And Jund, historically, 3 color decks historically, when it comes to mulliganing, people are afraid to do it. I need to work on my mulliganing. This deck, as many mid-range decks can survive minus one of their spells in their hand. They have, their 3 colors and a couple good creatures.
It's really just a question of what gives you the greatest chances of winning the game. Card advantage is not the only metric in the game. Using your mana efficiently is arguably more important in a lot of the time. And if you are going to miss a land drop anyway, then and if you end up dying with 4 cards in your hand, then how much should it help you that you had all those cards?
Yeah, exactly. All right,
so what's Dennis hoping to draw? He wants a turn 1 mana creature. That's to be sure, right?
Yeah, turn 1 mana creature. He wants Domri against Jund. It's very good.
Absolutely. But any like playing creatures for the first several turns, right?
Yeah.
Particularly if you can play like a Hell Rider on turn 3, like play anything on, an Elf on turn 1, anything on turn 2, Hell Rider on 3, and then either Silverheart or Hellkite on 4. That's the perfect draw.
Yep, and he does bring in the Chandra, Pyromancer, in order to answer the Thragtusk situation we discussed earlier, something bigger to block.
So he does have Strangler Geist as his first play. Doesn't have the Elf, but what he really needs is red mana.
I think does he have red in there?
He has 1 red in his hand. Okay. He needs to draw 1 more red to really turn on his Thundermaws and Hell Riders, and then he actually needs a 3rd red to be able to kick the mortars if it comes to that, but that's not usually the case.
All right, and Adam Prezek just took his first loss to Matt Hoey.
Prozac, if you recall, playing the blue-red Pyromancer deck, the Young Pyromancer Storm deck.
He probably got unlucky. I don't see that deck losing on its own, so might be the best deck I've ever seen. Definitely real exciting. So, all right, Eric's gonna go to turn 3
wow,
without
this is devastating for Jund. Missing a land drop.
Yeah, Jund, just like any heavier-ended mid-range deck, doesn't really work too well on the 2-land plan. Unlike Dennis Taylor, who could probably win on 2 lands if he really tried.
Did he not play the Pyromancer?
He didn't play the Pyromancer.
That's really weird. Huh.
All right, I guess he'll play a turn late here.
Huh.
I don't know.
Yeah, so continues to beat down with the Strangler Geist and drops a Elvish Mystic.
Right. All right, he draws. I don't think it's a land.
The Pyromaster is just single red, just 1 red mana symbol, right?
I think so, yeah. Pretty sure. Yeah.
No, it is
no,
2.
double red. Oh,
God, look how foolish we are. So Dennis Taylor electing not to cheat.
All right, thank you for not cheating. Good play.
You think we're gonna see Thundermaw Hellkite?
I don't think he has.
No.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Yeah, because this is post-combat.
So here, Sean is gonna come out now, legally.
What's the other card in his hand then? If he's got the Pyromaster, what's the other card?
I think it's looks like a Hellkite.
Yeah, but I guess he wants to lead with the Pyromaster first.
Right. And he's going to ping Eric down to 9. Eric desperately needing that 3rd land to put up a good fight here.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the Chandra from the last Chandra.
Yeah, that one was definitely
single red.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so he's going to 0 it, play the land here. Card advantage from the red Planeswalker. Definitely a cool little addition to it.
He chooses not to play Thundermaw Hellkite again. Does nothing. Interesting. Is he just thinking that his opponent's got a Doomblade, so he just wants to make sure that he for sure gets in there for 5?
Yeah, he's playing very safe. Right now, Eric is dead now. He gets to 1, Scavengers can't block, play Thundermaw Hellkite, kill you.
No, Gore Clan Rampager, right?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
not. I guess either way. Oh, no, Thundermaw kills too. You're right.
Yeah,
it's lethal either way.
Yeah, he's finally going to play the Hellkite. Okay. So we learned a few things. Dennis is a very conservative player. Also, Chandra costs 2 red. Very important details. All right, game 3. Exciting conclusion to the probably 2 of the 3 most popular decks in the room.
Probably number 1 and number 2.
Yeah.
Or at least they were in the previous weeks. Black-white control seems like it's risen up, but it's hard to imagine that there's really more than Jund.
Right. I think this is the handful of quality players that we know from previous Star City Opens just banded together in a black-white brotherhood here.
It looks like Eric Rill has decided to shuffle the 7 land he sideboarded out last game back into his deck.
He thought we all make mistakes.
Well, it's a gamble.
Yeah,
no gamble, no future.
What do you think about sideboarding in all the cards minus what about going up to 70? What do you think about that? Just having all the good stuff all together. The new rules allow that to happen, so why not, right?
Mostly because of the probability of of your best cards drawing that goes down if you dilute your deck with more cards, particularly when his mana ratio is already set up for a 60-card deck.
Right, yeah.
Now he does have, yeah, I guess, I mean, he's got a few cheap cards in his sideboard, but he doesn't have any more land, so I don't think that's a good plan.
Yeah, we definitely have to redo our mana base here.
Have you ever played a basic land in the sideboard of your constructed deck at any kind of premier tournament?
I can't say I have.
I played basic planes in the sideboard of blue-white. Like, I mean, obviously, there's been times where I've played basic land when I'm playing like a green deck that has searching, where it's like, okay, I got one swamp in my sideboard for cranial extraction or whatever.
Right, yeah.
But I played one planes in the sideboard of a blue-white deck, the tournament where Jace came out. Partly because I just wanted to be able to sideboard up one more land against a control deck.
Right.
But also partly because I had Core Firewalker in the sideboard. And just wanted more white mana against some people, particularly when you're going to board Tectonic Edge out against some people.
Right. I completely understand that. The last time I landed my board was I had not this year's states before I had 3 Nefali Dragonair in my sideboard.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's real specific.
Yeah, we're getting a note here. Apparently, Vintage Grixis has a mountain in its sideboard for Wasteland matchups. Yeah, Vintage is definitely the format where Mountain is better than Volcanic Island in your blue-black deck because of things like Wasteland and Crucible of Worlds.
Right. Vintage, what a fun
Hey, what do you
format.
guys think? I kind of want there to be one Vintage SCG Open. Would you guys play in it? We're talking 0 proxies. We're gonna do this thing for reals.
Your vote counts. We're going to take a tally. We're going to see if the overwhelming majority, we get a nice little group
One
here.
time. And if we do it, I'll do commentary for it if that's what it takes to pull it together. But that seems like it would be sweet to watch.
Yeah.
One time. It would get old, I think it was every single week. But maybe one time or one time a year or something.
Yeah.
But man, as long as we could get like 150 people or something, man, that could be super awesome.
I think it's fun to watch. I think people at home most people watching now are younger Magic players or newer to the game. Probably have never seen even a real vintage match happen. I mean, I haven't seen a vintage match in years. So, let alone people that play Magic much more casually than I do.
So Eric Rill with the turn 2 Farseek. Always the kind of play that the Jund decks won on turn 2.
Yep.
Dennis Taylor, again, no mana creature on turn 1. But he really needs there to be a Stringergeist or a Flinthoof Boar on turn 2 to help make up for the slow start.
And he will have one of those, but an Ooze.
The Ooze. See, the Ooze is a good card, but it's not the greatest 2-drop in terms of putting the most pressure on your opponent.
Right. It's probably the best 2-drop to draw late game, and probably one of the worst to draw early game. Definitely has an upside later on. All right, so we have Eric on 4 mana where Jund likes to be. 4 and 5, their favorite times. I see a lot of land in his hand.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's got a ton of gas, but he does have some Thrag Tusks.
Yeah.
Is that an Ooze of his own?
I can't see. He's kind of keeping his hand close to the cuff there. I'm definitely at least 4 land in his hand out of his 6 cards there. And
It is.
Oh man, I think he's all land. Is that Olivia? All land Olivia?
I think he's got a Thrag Tusk.
That's Thratus, okay? So 3 land Thratus. Definitely
I
think he's done it
so.
one spell.
Can't be sure. Who can be sure?
Yeah. Only a few things are certain, right? Death and taxes, all right?
Well, and that 3 divided by 3.
3 divided by 3 is 1.
Yeah, 3 is definitely 100% of 3. That
Yeah.
much is certain. You ever see that Star Trek episode where they're like torturing Picard and they're they're showing him lights and they're like, how many lights are there? And there's 4 lights and he says 4. And they're like, no, there's 5.
There's 5.
And then how many? Torture him again.
Try to get him to break to say 5. So.
All right, Scavenging Ooze trades with Scavenging Ooze. I think that trade actually slightly favors Jund a little bit. Just although there's another Ooze, it definitely favors whoever it is that has the last
second
Ooze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks like Eric. Again, I don't see besides the one Thrag. I think it's another land in his hand. I think he's all land, Thrag, and that might be it. Oh no, it's another Ooze. I don't think he has a Thrag. I think his hand is just. I think it's a grip of land. Yeah, I think it's just all land.
Is that not an Olivia?
It might be an Olivia.
Yeah, we need one of those like poker pocket cams.
Oh, that's Olivia. Yeah, I got it.
One
Caught
of those
it.
poker pocket cams, so the player can like You know, we can see each card they draw.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Here's the ultimate test, right? Eric Rill, Olivia or bust. Can Dennis beat an Olivia?
Well, he's got a Crushing Vines in hand.
Oh, I didn't see.
Yes,
Okay.
so signs point to
Alright.
quite possibly.
I would not put my money on the Olivia then against the crashing down from the sky Crushing Vines here. I always thought that was a cool card. I like the design of that card. I like it, especially in Limited. I used to play it. It was real fun. All right, so we have a bunch more things to add to the board. I think Eric wants a Miracle here.
Miracle Bonfire? That
That would
wouldn't
be
be bad.
good, yeah. But we are. It's right in the hand.
You believe in miracles?
I think Eric doesn't believe in miracles right now. They only believe in miracles when it benefits them. In the
Yeah,
game
when
of
it's
Magic.
convenient?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's
It's fair weather miracle believers.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Bonfire. But then they curse the same Bonfire the next game. All right.
Do we have that? Do we have that GIF of Kibler and Louise, the bonfire?
Sorry.
Dude, that is the sickest Magic clip of the year.
That was, yeah.
So good,
Poor Kibler. Poor Kibler.
so good. Remember sitting next to Louise one day, he just had it playing in the background all day while he was working. Just like, you know, he's got two monitors.
Yeah.
One monitor, he's like doing, you know, he's working. The other monitor just has it playing on repeat over and over and over again, ad nauseum.
That's pretty funny. Some people's misery is other people's entertainment, so. All right, so it crashes in. Eric forced to take it, of course, because once that ooze is gone, it's going to be rough. Dennis can really hope for a better turn there. Kill Olivia and then eat all the creatures so your ooze doesn't get anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have blocked with. Oh, no, I guess you don't block because then it's even worse when the ooze steps on your ooze.
Yeah, I think he has no choice whether or
Miracle Bonfire. Miracle Bonfire. Nope.
some kind of removal spell would be. It's another land too.
So he does have Castle Wolfrun.
That is true.
So he's got something to do with this mana.
I think he's going to just hope to block and trade ooze for ooze here.
You can't. The ooze is a 5/5.
Wolfrun pumping all.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, so he's just gonna hope. But we know that Dennis's hand is just full of gas.
Oh my God.
Oh, we
This
know.
is the BBE.
Yeah,
the
we
biggest
also.
beating ever.
We also know he drew a Gorkland Rampage. It's going to be
A literal Bloodbraid elf.
BBE.
Do you think it was a coincidence the Bloodbraid elf was printed with the same initials as the BBE? I think not.
I don't know. I do know that Dennis had his mana wrong. I lied. He needed to play 2 green for that. Yeah, I wish he had a 3rd green because if he did, or 4th green, he could play Rampager on his ooze and then eat the Rampager in mid-combat. It's a neat little trick I learned out in Vietnam. They taught us how to do this.
Yeah.
Out in Nam.
Yeah. Back when you were like, what, 35?
Yeah, I'm getting pretty old. I have 3 gray hairs, you know.
Yeah, I believe it.
All right,
And
that's it.
Dennis extends the hand. The Gorkland Rampager tramples over for the win. Dennis Taylor, 2-1 over Eric Rill with his Dragon Master Red-Green deck.
So we have Jun winning. Jun likes to win. It's one of the most winningest decks recent time.
John likes to win.
Jun likes to win a lot.
Sure.
It's let's just say it's not a stranger to victory. I would say playing a lot of opens recently, my numero uno loss goes to the Jun Menace. It's just good. It doesn't really have a matchup that's horrendous, does it?
No, not horrendous. I mean, it's got some that, like, I mean, even this matchup, it's supposed to be a little behind.
And we saw it lose here.
Yeah.
But Burning Earth is usually the culprit. But still, these red-green decks, I mean, Kibler built it with Jund in mind.
Right.
And the Pyro Masters help a lot in terms of being able to remove Thragtusk